Welcome to $4 Million Strategies. Super excited here to have Matthew Pohl. He's the author of Business Growth Framework. He also is the the CEO of Rewild Group. Today, we're going to talk about how you can create a great, strong brand. Matthew, tell us how we should get that done.
Yeah, thanks for the intro, Carl. In addition to Business Growth Framework, there's another book that would be applicable to this called Brand and Core Values. So the idea here is to have strong values. We all know that that's an important part of really having a strong company as a whole. We say that common values are what unify a group of people. We hire and work with outside of our organization many different kinds of people. And by having this common set of values, that's where you create unity. One of the things we suggest, though, that might be a little bit different than what you've heard about your values, is to distinguish between your brand values, what we say is your promise to the market, and core values, which is your promise to the team. And when you split those two out, what that does is it really allows you to be a little more clear in those values, right? So how you interact internally may not be exactly how you act externally. And when you try to combine those into just company values or corporate values, sometimes it gets a little bit confusing. For example, you might want to have a fun environment. So fun might be a value internally, but when you go to the marketplace, you might be a little bit more serious, a little more professional. And so anyway, we talk about brand values. This is your promise to the market, and this creates distinction for your organization in the marketplace. If you don't know and you can't communicate to your team what the customers should be experiencing when they're interacting with you, it's very difficult to have a strong brand. So we suggest 3 to 6 words or phrases comprise your brand values, and that everybody in the organization buys into that being really the codification of what you want to communicate to the marketplace. And that's not just to customers, that's also to how you treat suppliers and employee candidates. Anybody outside of the organization should see those brand values being emulated every day by every level of the organization. So that's kind of the key thing. Have strong brand values. It's helpful to distinguish that from your internal values, what we call core values. And sometimes just breaking those apart really allows you to identify what really makes your organization unique and distinct in the marketplace.
Okay, so I love that distinction, by the way, is how are you differentiating, how are you making a value towards your customers, right? So
Right.
just curious, and we have a less than a minute. What is a common pitfall when people are designing those go-to-market values?
Yeah, I would say there's two common ones. One is that they select values that they hear about from other companies. So they kind of like, oh, that sounds cute. That sounds neat. And what they do is they try to emulate somebody else. You need to figure out who you are. The other thing is to make them too, what we would say, what you want to be as opposed to who you are. And not coming up with the word, but it shouldn't be as aspirational. It really should be tangible of who you are, who you can be today, is really what you want your brand values to represent. Because if you set them too far into the aspirational nature and you don't come through on them for your clients, you don't meet that promise, then your customers won't experience that and they won't see you as being a strong brand.
Yeah, I think you said it well there. Having a clear, clean brand promise that you can be consistent with and who you are is going
Yeah.
to end up setting you apart from your competition. Matthew, thank you so much for that great insight.
You're welcome.